In this lesson, we'll learn how to create quick thumbnail sketches to explore potential concepts for our client. Okay, so if you want to open up the Lesson 4 Begin file, you'll be able to follow along with me. So, a very simple file. I've got just simply a business name up here, and to be quite honest, I've completely made this up. So, our client that we're going to be working on thumbnail sketches for is a fully automated car wash called the Radiant Robot. So, I figured that would be something fun to draw sketches around. Much funner than Johnson's Car Wash, but again, the process is going to be exactly the same. Remember, in my own workflow, I typically use thumbnail sketches for a lot of the graphic design style of projects that I work on, whether it be a logo design, whether it's a layout of some kind, whether it's a package design. I typically start with thumbnail sketches. So let's go ahead and grab our brush tool here by hitting the B on our keyboard. It's right over here. And I'm just going to draw on this layer 1 right here. And let's go ahead and right click and we'll go ahead and set our brush to maybe this one here. And I'm going to set it to about 3 pixels so we can just sketch away here. Now, again, remember, the important thing when working with thumbnail sketches is really not quality at all. The important thing is quantity. You should also build time in later on to kind of refine potential concepts that might be working well. So I'm just going to zoom in here by holding Control and Spacebar, and then I'll pan around just with Spacebar here, and we'll just kind of start drawing out some sketches. So if it was a car wash called the Radiant Robot, the first thing that I think of here is the fact that we have 2 R's. Right next to each other here. So maybe we have one sort of like that, and might experiment with maybe drawing another one sort of like so. So just kind of seeing what those look like mirrored against each other here. Now I'm kind of seeing and looking at these that I almost see kind of a face here. So maybe we've got the eyes of the robot kind of in the negative space, or the counters there. I almost got some teeth down here as well. So maybe that's something we could play with. Maybe give it a jaw, something like that. So thumbnail 1 down. So again, just potential idea there. Nothing big. So whenever I think of robots, I think of kind of the vintage or retro style of robot that has maybe a bit of kind of an antenna on his head. Maybe he's got one there, and maybe we give him kind of a surprised look on his face. Or again, you could go any direction you want to with a logo, but again, I like to kind of incorporate characters or somewhat small illustrations into them. So maybe instead of a robot like that, we could do some experimentation with some little antennas out here. Maybe he's got one eye right in the middle. And I'm thinking about the type in the logo now, and kind of thinking, what would it look like if the type itself was almost very robotic? So kind of piecing it together, maybe something like this, with almost like bolts and sheet metal. So I mean, probably won't do the whole word, just enough to kind of get my idea across here. So we could do like little rivets in there, something like that. Maybe there's some scratches and stuff like that on it, but just kind of playing with different ways that we can create the type at this point. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab my lasso tool with the keyboard shortcut L, hold Control and Alt, and just drag a copy of that O so I don't have to draw it again. And back to the brush tool, and we'll just come in here and just go ahead and kind of complete the word robot. So maybe we could do something sort of like that as far as the type goes. We'll come over here, lasso that up, and we're just going to move that by holding Control. Deselect with a Control D, and let's go on to another thumbnail here. Now, kind of in the same vein as these vintage style robots, I also think about robot arms or appendages that kind of have kind of this type of a look to it. You could see here that maybe, I don't know, maybe we have sort of something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could do kind of the letters using some kind of a pattern sort of like that right there. And we'll just kind of come on over here and do another sketch. So a lot of the time when I'm doing sketches for logos, again, I'm simply just drawing really quick thumbnails. So you can see here just kind of playing again with that R combination right there. And again, thinking about things to sketch, we've obviously kind of keyed in on the robot visuals, but we could come in here and also kind of key in on the maybe the car wash visual as well. So, I mean, we don't just need robots in the logo, we need something to do with car wash, so maybe he's got kind of a sponge in his hand. And maybe it's washing off the text for our Radiant robot here. You can see a lot of times when I'm sketching for a logo, I'll also just kind of sketch the text, not just images. A lot of what I'm drawing is text. And we'll just kind of run Right Robot down here. So what else can we sketch that has to do with Radiant robots? Now, thinking that it's a completely automated type of a car wash, maybe we could do some kind of a conveyor belt. That to me says automation or automated. Maybe something like that. So you can see that my sketches, they're not anything special at this point. Really, just kind of quick little doodles that get the point across. Maybe underneath here could be, or on top of here could be Radiant. Looks like I'm running out of room. It's okay. It's the beauty of doing this in Photoshop. I can always just grab my lasso tool and then hold down the control key to grab my move tool, and we'll just move it over some and deselect that. So again, another simple little concept here. Maybe possibly the word robot could be under here. Now again, the focus in doing this isn't necessarily on the relevance of the thumbnail sketches, but really more so just showing you kind of the process that I use when I'm sketching. Now if I was doing something as maybe it's a page layout, maybe we're doing a brochure for this Radiant robot car wash, again, then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to simply make quick thumbnail sketches. Let me just come in here and maybe it's a trifold brochure, kind of trying to sell their car wash, and maybe we can have some images and some bodies of text. Maybe this is the, I guess this would be the outside of the brochure over here on the far right. So maybe over here we've got kind of there's a little illustration of a robot or something like that. Kind of give him a little antenna like we talked about. And then over here maybe, you know, we do something with Radiant robot. Again, just kind of arcing my my little rectangles there for the text. So again, when I'm doing a page layout sketch, really, again, just things like that. Thinking about placement of the different elements that are going to go into the sketch. Obviously, we've made up this client so we don't have real information to put into this brochure, but knowing that it's a trifold, there's probably going to be a front and a back. So we'd probably come in here and do something again on the opposite side to kind of plan that out. So you can see here how this process of really what I call creative doodling works when it comes to creating concept sketches for a project. In this case, a logo design for a company called the Radiant Robot Car Wash. But really, this particular process of thumbnailing can be used for any graphic design project. Again, logo, page layout, web page. It could be used for package designs and anything of the sort. So again, the focus here should be quantity and not quality, because once you've filled up page upon page and you feel like you have just exhausted every potential option for that particular project, then you can start looking at those options with a little bit more of a critical eye, thinking about, well, which solution best fits my problem, which is the best answer to the question that's being asked here. So this is creating thumbnail sketches. The next sort of technique that I want to show you in terms of concept sketching was one we spoke about in the previous lesson. We talked a little bit about gesture drawing. Next, we're going to actually implement that. We're going to begin doing some quick gesture sketches in the next lesson.